Friends, good morning. We find ourselves in Trevignano Romano in the company of Giada and Emma, who have to tell us about a healing phenomenon that took place here in Trevignano. Good morning, I'm Giada, Emma's mother, and this is the little girl who received 2 graces, one last July and the other on January 2018. Do you want to tell us about it? Okay. I was playing in the park with my cousin. I ran towards my father, but my cousin overtook me and he tripped me. But obviously he didn't do it on purpose. I fell down, kind of a stupid fall. But since that stupid fall, I got hurt. Where did you feel first the pain? What is the part where you first felt the pain? I felt the pain in this part, and we immediately went to the hospital. They let me into a room. They wrapped me a band with like an elastic stripe that held me up, and they gave me a paper sheet to Mom saying I had a microfracture. Then we went into another room where I had to do the X-ray. I was crying because the part was hurting anyway, but at a certain point I smelled the fragrance. At the beginning I didn't recognize it, but then I calmed down as if nothing had happened to me. Then I recognized the fragrance. It was the perfume of Aunt Gisella. So I called my mother to warn her about it. But she was already in an anxious state, so she said to me, what kind of perfume? And meantime, Aunt Gisella kept calling her to tell that I was fine anyway. We went into the room. The doctor told my mother that I didn't actually have a microfracture. I just had a bruise on my arm. My mother was shocked because in any case, if someone gives you a diagnosis, it is not the case they write you lies. They tell you what you have. So at the end, even the doctor had to change his mind about what the previous exams were. Your fracture was not there. No. Giada, what was your first reaction when you had the medical response of this fracture that was no longer there? Most beautiful thing is when we went to make the X-ray, the little girl realized that Gisella was in bilocation due to her fragrance. With her body, she was elsewhere, but she was actually there with us. And so she calmed Emma, she calmed her pain, made her calm and serene, as the child was crying from the pain caused by the fall. Really interesting, really impressive what you're telling us. Emma, I know that there was another precedent before this arm fracture. You had suffered another, what was it? Do you want to tell us? Okay, I was playing and at one point I fell against the door and the bump came out here on my wrist. So we went to the doctor and he told us I had a cyst. Then on Saturday we went to church. It was the 4th mystery and the Madonna was coming down. I felt tired and I was about to fall asleep, but my mother kept telling me, you can't fall asleep now, the Madonna is coming down. Aunt Gisella called me to get me close to her. As soon as I got to her, I smelled the fragrance, that I realized it was the fragrance of Aunt Gisella, and then I fell asleep. In a second, my mother thought it was just sleep, but in reality, Aunt Gisella gave me the blessing. Then after a few days, one day I woke up and started screaming, "Mom, Mom, Mom, come on now." My mother came and she saw that the cyst was gone. I no longer had this bump here. So it went more or less like Emma said, but maybe she's a bit young and doesn't remember all the details. The little girl fell on Friday and immediately presents a sketch on the right wrist. And at first it didn't hurt her, but in short, being a very apprehensive and worried mother, we immediately went to the first aid to make her checked. I sent a message to our prayer group asking for help in prayers to accompany us for the ultrasound scan, hoping that there was nothing. But while doing the ultrasound, the doctor said no. We also do an X-ray to be more secure. In short, so we went and they established that it was a cyst, a large and very important cyst, and that had to be visited by an orthopedist. While going back home, I received a call from Gisella asking how the child was, and I told her so. She told me, "Look, there is a very good orthopedist who also operated my mother. She just said, call him and fix an appointment. Let's show it to him." I called this very nice doctor, very helpful. He was on his way to Pisa and told me, "Mom, send me a picture of the bump so I'm aware of the situation. And I can give you an appointment." He gave it on Monday. That was happening all Saturday morning. On Saturday afternoon at 6 p.m., we were praying the Rosary in the chapel of the Sacred Heart. At 5:30, I said, "Emma, let's go and make a personal prayer to the Madonna." So she listened to us. Then at 6, there is the Rosary. We went, we made our little prayer, we kneeled down. Just before 6 p.m., we could smell a fragrance, a scent of roses, an unmistakable perfume that flooded the whole church. And so we saw Gisella entering with bandaged hands, Gisella and Gianni. And they sat right in front of us. Then Gisella asked Emma to come here among them. At that moment, my concern was to pray to the Madonna, to put her hand over Emma's hand, and that such surgery was not to be done, because inside me I knew it. It was like that for me. Gisella takes off her glove, she gives a blessing to Emma's hand. She passes it like this, and Emma fell asleep, and I woke her up. Emma, this is the third mystery. Emma, I say, in a little while the Madonna comes down. Emma says, no, I'm sleepy. The Madonna arrives. I say to Emma, she has arrived. We both kneel and ask for the healing of Emma's hand. After the rosary is concluded, we go home, as always. We eat, and this was Saturday. On Sunday nothing happens. Emma's hand was the same. On Monday morning we had the appointment with the doctor. Emma starts screaming at 6 a.m. at home, Mom, Madonnina, heal me. And I knew it was all true, but I did it for the Madonna, and I went to the doctor anyway, also for Gisella, because the doctor had to identify and declare it not only to me, but also to the other people who don't believe it. So I went, I left for Civitavecchia, I went there, and I said to doctor, well, I don't know if you believe in God. He told me, Mom, what are you saying? Let me see the little girl's hand. I show her hand, so he tells me, Mom, what joke is this? I said, no, it's not a joke. I sat down, and I said, I don't know if you believe in God. Do you know who sent me? Yesterday I went to the rosary, and that's it. He told me, Mom, do you know one thing? That this morning I was giving you an appointment for the surgery. A crazy joy, and the child has not presented any more problem to her hand. Nothing. Great Emma, thank you for your precious testimony. This also leads us to understand the great help that Gisella brings through the messages received from our Holy Mother as an aid to the humanity. I hope that what has been told in your stories can really shake the consciences of the people to open themselves to this great, immense love that our Heavenly Mother is giving us. I thank you sincerely from the World Group. I wish you the most beautiful things in life. Thank you to all of you.